Dear Dance Diary, today was my very first dance lesson for the Stars of the Border competition in 2025. It was a group dance lesson, and it's fair to say that my head is absolutely spinning at the moment because I thought we'd get there and, we'd spend a couple of hours going through maybe 2 parts. I've lost track of how many parts I've gone through tonight and learnt tonight from the start. I think most of the song is done. It's just keeping ahead of everything, from the steps to the pivots to the turns to the hands to the left to the right to the everything. Whew, there is a lot to cover, and I have a sinking suspicion that I'm going to go home. It's about 45 minutes past my usual bedtime. I'm going to tuck into a bit more of tonight's dinner because I rushed to get down to the dance thing and I gulped it down at a record speed, and there's a little bit left and I'm really hungry now from dancing. And a cold beer as well. My sinking suspicion will be that I'll be lying in bed going over the dance moves in my head instead of doing something useful like actually sleeping and recharging, because look, it was sensational. A lot of fun. It went as well as I expected day one, first lesson to go, and that was the teachers were very professional, very kind, very considerate, and in comparison I was all over the shop. In fact, a couple of teachers came over and said, Al, instead of stepping out like major style, like you're trying to cross the Great Wall of China, maybe do like a little less of a step, pal. Maybe go shoulder width, because the further you step, the longer it takes you to turn. The quicker you step or the shorter you step, the faster you turn and everything else. And we're doing things at a certain speed, and then things speed up, and I am all over the shop. By the time I've pivoted twice, Abby, my dance teacher's 3 steps ahead of me, and it's sort of hard catching up with it. But it's the first lesson, Al, okay? I need to remind myself that, and I'm sure the teacher, Kate, would say exactly the same thing. Caitlin would say, don't panic. It takes about 6 weeks to get things underway, and with a lot of practice and everything else. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be practicing in my garage, where I don't have to worry about the rest of the crew looking at me and being entertained by yours truly dancing around like an unbalanced cement mixer. That's fine. But hey, the first lesson is done. It's probably the most physical activity that I've done in quite some time, and I don't mean in terms of weights, because usually I exercise for about half an hour, and this went from I don't know, I've lost track of time, a couple of hours at least, and every time I thought, woo, we're getting to the end of this session, it'd be like, right, and now we're going to add one more step to this. I'm like, oh my God, my head's about to explode. So look, the good news is I'm back for lesson number 2, same time next week, with a bit of practice and watching the video that they recorded at the end of it. I shouldn't be so awkward and all over the shop and almost into the wall and halfway across the floor with each pivot. Quite an entertaining experience. A big shout out to all of the fellow stars that are there, and I know that some of you are in the same level of apprehension that I am, and the same level of uncertainty, especially after the first one. Shout out to Jeb, who's like, what are we doing? That's just the group dance, pal. Wait till the one-on-ones. But hey, first dance lesson went really well. I'm absolutely stoked with how things are going, and to wrap this up, I want to send a special shout out to everyone who's donated so far, because every time I think, oh, things are quieting down, someone will come along and chip in a couple of bucks through the website, which link is below. Thank you, because as someone else said to me tonight, every dollar I raise goes to the Cancer Council and does some good, whether it's education, whether it's treatment, whether it's transport, whether it's something else. And that's awesome. So regardless of whether I feel like a newly born giraffe trying to find my legs on the dance floor, and that's exactly how I'm feeling, it's for a great cause, and it is just the first step towards dancing greatness. No idea, but it's the first step of many to get to a competent level, that's the word I'm looking for, and bring on May 9. That's when the big dance is. So yeah, I wasn't expecting to be like Fred Astaire or any famous hip-hop dancer. I can't name any at the top of my head on lesson number 1, but I'm on the way, and the first one is out of the way, and I'm very happy that it is. Time to go home, time to feed, time to recharge, and hopefully get some sleep before the alarm goes off at 4:30 tomorrow morning. I dread that time, but that's tomorrow's problem. All right, thanks again for checking out the latest adventure in my series. Like I said, if you'd like to donate, the link is below, and plenty more updates coming up. I can't give you too much dance footage because I don't want to ruin the surprise if you're coming along or checking it out on live stream, but that is day 1. Whew. Time for a nap. Wish me luck.